Hey guys, Randy Sullivan here, Florida Baseball Ranch. I'm here with Corey Stump, and we're here to talk to you about the first move. A lot of times in life, the first move you make is the most important. When you're playing chess, the first move is critical. When you're trying to get a girl to like you, absolutely the first move is critical. And it's no different when pitching. The first move can result in a cascade of disconnections downstream that can result in poor performance or put you at risk for injury. We're going to go through the three most common first move errors that we see. Number one is called a counter rotation. We see a lot of guys that'll lift their leg and they'll counter rotate their hips so they turn their back to the hitter. It's really a common teach. We do see major leaguers who do it absolutely. If they came to the Florida Baseball Ranch and we saw them doing it, we would say, hey dude, listen, if you have any pain or any poor performance, any decrease in your performance, come see us. Otherwise, keep being you. Most major leaguers we see that counter rotate, they return to their position before they come back. But the problem with counter rotation as a first move is that it sets you up in this centrifugal motion here where you're on the merry-go-round and you're rolling out, and if you leave the roundabout too early, you end up stepping across your body, and now you have to either stand here and throw hook shots across your body, or you have to disconnect some way to get back to a normal position. Okay, that's the first move, is counter rotation. The next poor first move we see is just premature shifting to the ball of the foot, which results in quad dominance. Corey will show us that. A lot of guys will bend their knee. Their first move out is to bend their knee, shift their knee forward over their toe, and have their heel come off the ground. And that results in a directional problem where they're pushing themselves toward the on-deck circle. Again, they have the option to stand here and throw hook shots to the hitter across their body, or they have to disconnect downstream. And for the third poor first move, we're going to have Corey turn sideways. This is what we call a false pelvis. A lot of times guys go to load their back hip and they simply bend over at the waist. Okay, so the hips and shoulders aren't parallel and they end up with just lateral flexion of the trunk. Another poor first move. If you get the first move right, guys, a lot of good stuff happens downstream. And so how do we get the first move right? It's all about co-contraction of all the muscles around the back hip. We want to see the muscles of the glutes, the quads, the lateral hips, and the inner thighs all isometrically co-contract as we move out. And the way we do that is we force our guys through what we call the inverted iron pyramid. They're going to imagine that on the bottom of their shoe, they have an iron pyramid. It's the length of the shoe and the width of the shoe. Reaches a point about out there, about 3 inches away from their foot. We want our guys to drive that entire pyramid into the ground, and that forces co-contraction around the back hip. And then what we get is we get a symmetrical isometric contraction. We don't shift our weight forward, we don't shift it back, we don't shift it to the inside or the outside, and we get a more accurate, a more clear, a more powerful first move. We get co-contraction so that we can get to maximum force development quickly, and it solves our directional problem. A lot of times, man, if you start working about where the guy's striding and where he's landing, you can draw that line all day, fellas, and what I see is that you can draw that line all you want. It doesn't usually fix the problem because the landing point is not the problem. The landing point is simply the runny nose and the cough. The virus is right back here in the iron pyramid. You get your whole foot in the ground during your first move, and a lot of good things happen, right? Chicks love good first moves. Pitchers love good first moves. Be really good with your first move.